Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So trackies, I've been mulling over this Stephen Francis interview that was done recently as it relates to Sharika Jackson's 2023 season and the 200-meter world record. And he made some suggestions as it relates to what they could possibly be looking to do next season as it relates to Sharika Jackson again potentially having the opportunity to shatter that 200-meter world record. Now, for me personally, Sharika Jackson's 2023 season has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, trackies, I talked about, the desensitization as it relates to what is actually fast in today's day. Now, I talked about it clearly for the women's 100 meters, but based on some of the responses I'm seeing, I'm thinking that, persons are being desensitized overall when it comes to speeds in these sprint events. And let me just say this off the bat, that Sharika Jackson is super fast. What she has done this season in the women's 200 meters has been achieved by no one else in history. Even the world record holder, sitting at 21.34 seconds, has not run so many times in the 21.4s as Sharika did. Actually, Sharika is the only person to have dipped into 21.4s so many times. So for me, Sharika Jackson had a phenomenal season. But taking into consideration again the suggestions that Stephen Francis has been making or has made in the interview, I have been wondering something in my brain. Now, trackies, y'all can tell me in the comment section below. I am wondering, is Sharika Jackson being over-raced? Now, the reason I'm saying this, trackies, is because a few years ago, someone said to me in the comment section that since there is no more Shelly Fraser-Price and no more Elaine Thompson-Herah at the MVP track club, Sharika Jackson is now going to become MVP's cash cow, and we're going to be seeing her running non-stop on the circuit. Now, trackies, when you look at Sharika's 2023 season, you can really see that she has raced a lot. However, in my opinion, because I'm not a coach, clearly, I don't know if this is too much running. But when I think off the top of my head to try to compare her with the other athletes that I've seen this season, then clearly Sharika Jackson has run much more than them. I think the only athlete that comes remotely close to anything that Sharika Jackson has done this season is Sha'carri Richardson. And I'm going to put it up on the screen for you all to see what both athletes have done this season. But clearly, Sharika Jackson still outdoes Sha'carri Richardson by a number of races. Now, trackies, when I look at 2024 again and the possibilities again of Sharika Jackson targeting the world record at earlier meets like in Kenya. Now, trackies, the reason why again I'm contemplating this overworked scenario is that Sharika Jackson would literally have to start her season at world record pace because again, targeting Kenya is for the high altitude, and clearly fast times will come there, right? But Sharika Jackson again will have to be in world record shape right as the season begins. Now, I did see a few persons in the comment section suggesting that, Stephen Francis or the coaching staff there, because we know Sharika's coach is Paul Francis, right? So the coaching staff there will get Sharika ready for early season to break that world record, then suggest that, okay, get her ready again for the trials, then get her ready for the Olympics. No, getting her ready for the trials, clearly that means she's going to be doubling there, right? And of course the Olympics is another double. Then of course she'll have to hold that peak straight through the rest of the 2024 season. Now, trackies, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a daunting task. That definitely sounds like a daunting task, and I'm wondering in my brain if this is really too much to ask of Sharika. Now, trackies, I'm not gonna lie, I would just much prefer, which is what we've seen over the years with MVP athletes anyway, where they focus on being at their best at the trials and of course at the championships. And literally, when you look at Sharika Jackson's season, she literally does her best at the championships, and that's the Jamaican championships, and of course at the Olympic Games or World Championships. That's where we literally see her fastest times done in the women's 200 meters. I wouldn't mind they just prepare her again to do that, but if they start to target, faster times earlier on in the season, will Sharika be able to manage that workload for the whole of the season? Now, another commentator pointed out that the amount of work that Sharika had to put in just to be able to manage running so consistently consistently on the circuit for all of 2023 has to be scary, right? So when you take that into consideration and the fact that we are literally saying to Shericka, all right, please go out and run super fast from in May in Kenya, break the world record, come back again at the trials, come back again at the Olympics, and of course hold that through for the rest of the 2024 season. Track is definitely something that does not sit well with me at all. And I don't know if I can co-sign that. Now, again, clearly I'm not a coach, but just looking at it, it definitely sounds like a lot of work and maybe too much work for one athlete. Now, also when you take into consideration that Stephen Francis himself said that he did not think that Sharika Jackson running the 100 meters the day before the 200 meters at the Prefontaine Classic would have affected her as much. Now, I was saying the same thing in my previews where I was saying I don't think her doing the 100 meter will affect her running the 200 meter world record. So she should definitely go after both titles at the Prefontaine Diamond League finals. However, track is in light of, again, Stephen Francis saying that it clearly affected her a lot, says to me that this could potentially be too much for Sharika's body to handle. So yes, she can go fast. Yes, she can drop these super fast times, but is she racing too much collectively throughout the whole season and her body just literally can't take anymore, right, trackies? So again, you all tell me in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you think, and again, look at it yourselves, compare a few athletes that you've seen over the season, and I'm talking about specific to the sprints. Compare a few athletes that you've seen competing for the 2023 season and tell me if you think that this is normal or they are just under raced and Shericka is fine where she is, or do you think that Shericka is currently being over raced? And then now when you think about the eventual possibility of her heading into 2024 targeting meets like Kenya to go super fast from early, because again, I said it was possible. We saw Shelly and Fraser Price do the same thing where she opened her season blazing fast from early on, running 10.6s. So it's definitely possible to open your season running fast. But will it be too much for Sharika Jackson to handle for a full season, back to back to back races? Plus, also take into consideration that she will be doubling at the championships, and that is the National Jamaican Championships, the trials, and of course, taking into consideration that she will be also doing that double at the Olympic Games. Do you think it will be too much on Shericka's poor body? Honestly, trackies, I'm stressed out just thinking about the amount of work that it will take just to get your body fit enough to be able to handle these amount of races. And I'm also thinking that, you know what? We should stop being desensitized to what is actually fast and, just appreciate the performances that the athletes are dropping. So, yes, she didn't break the world record. I spoke about this multiple times, right? Whether or not she breaks the world record or not doesn't take away from the caliber athlete that she is and the stellar performances that she has put down for this 2023 season, right? And I will not change my mind on that. So, I think sometimes, in targeting the world record, I think some of us may be becoming desensitized to what is actually fast, because now the narrative is kind of changes where, she's running at 21.57 and everybody's like, meh. And I'm like, how can you be seeing her running at 21.57 and everybody's like, meh? That's just okay. That's just ridiculous. That's one of the fastest times ever to be run. If you think about it, the only times that are potentially faster than that is the one that Elaine did, the couple that Shericka did herself, and the couple that, the world record holder did herself. There are not many times faster than the times that Sharika Jackson ran in that final race for the season. But then when you look at her 21.4s as well, she definitely stands in a category all on her own. Even if you take a look at the world record holder herself, Shericka Jackson is clearly, in my mind, a superb athlete and stands, head and shoulders above the world record holder just based on her consistent sub 21.5 performances over the 200-meter distance. Anyway, trackies, as I said, sound off. Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.